Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my August favorites. I don't really have a lot of things to talk about in this video, so I'm just gonna get right into it. So the first thing I'm gonna be talking about is this Lorac contouring palette. I have a lot of thoughts on this palette. I absolutely love this palette, and I'm really not into contouring palettes because for the longest it took me a really long time to find a contouring palette that really suits my needs, something that I need, something that I like. A lot of the times on the market I see contouring palettes that are targeted more towards people of lighter complexion, even though most of the time they do have a contouring powder shade in their palette that can be used on dark skin. It doesn't work on dark skin. I was intrigued when Lorac came out with a contouring palette, and I immediately thought to myself, I have to try this. I find it so easy. These powders are so soft and so easy to work with. The only thing that I probably don't like about, actually there are two things I don't like about the palette, is the fact that the palette is so easy to get dirty, but the other thing is they can be a little powdery and they do have a lot of fallout, so you might want to be careful when using this palette. But other than that, the palette is absolutely amazing. So I use the deep contour for my face, and I use the medium contour for my nose. I found that the deep contour is just a little too harsh for my nose contour. This brush came free with the palette, and I love this brush because the shape of the brush is perfect for chiseling out your cheekbones, but it's also fluffy enough to blend it out, and I find that it's super easy. Sometimes I do get a little heavy-handed with the contouring powders, but I find that using a fluffier brush to blend it out really helps too. I've been absolutely in love with both the contouring palette and the brush. So to go along with the palette, I'm going to be talking about Anastasia Beverly Hills Artist Palette. Now, I'm probably the last person on earth to get this palette, but sometimes I really want to, you know, wear something really colorful. Sometimes I want to wear something smoky. Sometimes I want to wear something sultry, and this palette, I feel like you can do all of these looks with it. Now, this palette I believe is not meant for like, you can create a look with just these colors alone, but I find that a lot of people have to go into other palettes to create a solid, more kind of natural look. I feel like this palette is meant for people who are more colorful, people who are a little bit more daring and adventurous with makeup. And so I love this palette because not only are the colors amazing, but the quality of the shades are amazing. If you are like me and you haven't gotten this palette, I suggest you go and get it. If you can still get it, honestly, I don't know if it's still available. I'm going to be talking about this Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Champagne Pop. Now, this highlighter was in collaboration with Jaclyn Hill here on YouTube. I think she said that this powder was supposed to be a mix between Moonstone and Opal, and I don't know because I don't have either one of those shades. I honestly just bought this because of Jaclyn Hill, because I love Jaclyn Hill. At first I was a little scared to buy it because I was wondering if it would work on someone of my skin tone. I have it on now. I have it on my brow bone, my inner corner, and I also do have it as a highlight. I like highlighters that are more that give more of a wet look than a glittery look, and this doesn't do it at all. This is not glittery. This gives a more wet look. One thing I must say about this highlight is it is very easy to get a little overboard and heavy-handed with this highlight. So if you're someone who likes to be a little bit more natural, I don't know why, you know, you want to be natural with a highlighter, but if you're someone who wants to be a little more natural with a highlighter, I suggest that you take your time with working with this because it's very easy to kind of go crazy with this highlight. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is this eyelash glue. This is the House of Lashes eyelash glue, and I think this is the clear adhesive. This is such an amazing eyelash glue. I was on the hunt for eyelash glue because I was using the Slash Grip eyelash adhesive, and it's okay. It takes a little while to dry, and that's the only thing I didn't like about this, is that it took forever to dry. And this is a great eyelash glue because it takes no time to dry. The only thing is it can be a little hard to work with just because I find that I might get a little bit of eyelash glue on my tweezers, and then the hairs of the eyelashes will get stuck to the tweezers, and it can make it a little hard to work with. But other than that, it dries super fast. It stays in place. It doesn't go anywhere. Regardless of, you know, whether you're using this eyelash glue or not, don't go ripping off your eyelashes, because that's very dangerous. You can rip out your own lashes. You know, you want to take your time to take off your eyelashes, and I find that with this eyelash glue, that rule definitely applies. I don't think I will ever go back to another eyelash glue after using this. So the next thing I'm going to be talking about is these ultra matte lips from ColourPop. They are so amazing. The great thing about using these liquid to matte lip things are that they are easy to work with, and you honestly you don't need a lip liner. But for me, I feel that I still use a lip liner just because I don't know, just because I can, I guess, because that's the way I prefer it. But honestly, you don't have to. My favorite colors are Vice, and it's just a pinky beige lip color, and it's the one that I have on my lips right now. I use this in combination with NYX medium brown lip liner. You all know, if you've been watching my tutorials, it's like the only lip liner that I use because it's perfect. It matches my lips perfectly. And the next color I love is Guess, and it's just a dark purple, a dark blackened purple. So the matching lip liner, it's not a matching lip liner, but the lip liner that I like to use with it is the Ellery lip pencil. They are only $6, and the quality is amazing. But of course, I feel like everything from ColourPop is amazing, so these are my favorites for the month. So I'm going to be talking about my favorite makeup brushes, and this makeup brush is from Real Techniques, and it's their Expert Buffing Brush, and I really love using this brush for foundation and for any cream products, just because it's fluffy and it's dense, and it makes applying foundation and cream products super easy. It makes it easy to blend out, and it makes the application process go a lot faster. I used to use my beauty blender for my foundation, and I still do love my beauty blender, but I find that I only use it for when I'm doing like really glam dramatic makeup. But for when I'm on the go and I need something fast, I gravitate more towards this brush because it's just so fast and it's so easy to use, and these brushes are pretty affordable for the price as well. So my next favorite brush is actually a very recent favorite. This is the Morphe G14 brush, and I really love using this brush for to blend out concealer underneath my brow bone, or I also love using this to blend out eye primers. And because most of the time I do have long nails, when you have long nails, you don't want to stick your hand in pots to, you know, put primers on, because, you know, the product gets underneath your nail. And so this is super easy to work with, the shape, because of the shape and because it's dense and it's still fluffy, so that it helps to blend the product out. If you are looking for a brush to blend out your primers or concealers or whatever, you should definitely check this out, and I'll have the link down in the description box. So my next favorite brush is also from Morphe, and this is the Morphe M500. Now this brush you can use for a lot of things, but I really love how soft this brush is, and I also love the shape of the brush because you can use it to wipe off any excess powder off underneath your eyes if you're planning on doing a little baking. Or you can also use this brush for what I like to use it for, and it's for highlighting. And I just used it, I just spray a little Fix Plus on the brush, and I use it to highlight my cheekbones. The shape is amazing because it still blends out your product, but it also helps with really great placements. I used to use a fan brush from e.l.f., but honestly I think I'm going to stop messing with that because it just becomes a little too messy, especially when you're looking for a more precise placement for your highlighter. So I find that this brush works perfectly for that. So that's the end of my favorites. Didn't take as long as I thought it would. I actually got through really fast. If you guys do want to see a video on my favorite brushes overall, my favorite makeup brushes, face brushes, eye brushes, leave a comment down in the description box. And if you have any requests for any videos that you want me to do, please leave a comment down in the description box. I really enjoy making these videos for you, and I'm so happy because I'm almost at 100 subscribers. I know it might not seem like a lot to people, but this is, I really love doing this, and so I just want to thank everybody who subscribed and everybody who's watched. Thanks for listening to me ramble about my favorites, and hopefully I can do this every month. Have a nice day, and bye. Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be this fall inspired makeup tutorial. So if you want to see how to get this look, then please keep on watching.